All right, good afternoon, everybody. This is the October 20th meeting of the Design and Project Review Committee. We do have a quorum. Is there a motion to suspend the rules?
I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules to allow member participation electronically or by telephone.
Second.
Katie, please call the roll.
Knighton,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Callahan,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Vanetta,
Aye.
Eckersberg,
Aye.
Hyank.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
All right. The next up is the motion to approve the meeting minutes of October 13th.
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
Katie, please call the roll.
Knighton,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Callahan,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Vanetta,
Aye.
Eckersberg,
Aye.
Hyank.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great. Welcome to our guests. First item, new business is 1732 Central Street. Recommendation to the zoning administrator, Dr. Manoj Mehta. Applicant submits for administrative reviews for a ground floor medical office endoscopy center North Shore in the B1A Business District and Central Street overlay. Welcome, Dr. Mehta. If you'd like to just give us a quick overview of what you'd like to do, and then we'll ask some questions from there.
Sure. Thank you very much for having me. Everyone can hear me, right? Great. So 1732 Central is a one-story building just east of Green Bay Road on Central. It's across the street from the Arts Center. I think you're probably all familiar, and I think you have the material, which includes a map and plat of survey. So I have an existing practice in downtown Wilmette, also in a one-story building, a little smaller. Planning to move my office to this location and make it a single specialty doctor's office, similar to perhaps what Dr. Newberger and Kim Meyer's office was across the street up until last year or so.
Are there any questions from staff?
I do. I don't see that there's any permit applications for any interior build outs yet. But are you planning on doing some build out with some permits?
Yes.
Making
So
spaces.
the exterior will remain the same. It'll all be interior remodeling, but it will be pretty complete remodeling. So to answer your first part of your question, I mean, everything is sort of interconnected. The architect can't do any work until, we have a contract. I can't get a contract until the zoning board approves. The zoning board can't do anything until they see the architect's plans, So I do have a builder and architect. We've sort of, done some preliminary plans. The builder is licensed and has done work in Evanston already, so it's familiar with the permit process. And our contract, we're actually, they say verbally, everything's approved, so we're just waiting to sign that. And it sounds like all the balls are in motion. They need to be.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware that, interior build outs require permits and signage is a separate permit.
Sure.
Okay.
Any other questions from staff? Okay, great. If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion for a positive recommendation to the zoning administrator.
Second.
Katie, please call the roll.
Sorry, Knighton,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Callahan,
Aye.
Biggs,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Banetta,
Aye.
Eckersberg,
Aye.
Ink,
Aye.
motion carries.
Great, thank you. So you'll get a letter from staff in the next couple days indicating zoning approval. So look for that, that item.
Great, thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks.
Right.
Next up. 1310 Hartree Street, Andy Spatz, applicant submits for a building permit to construct a new 2-story, 3-unit office building with 4 off-street parking spaces. Office units are live workspaces in the C2 commercial district. Andy and Matt, welcome. I think we're familiar with this, but if there's anything you want to add to this item, let us know.
Nothing to add at this time.
Or any staff questions?
So I had some questions. I noticed that you have a civil drawing here, a site plan, but it isn't actually complete with all the information that we would expect to see on a site plan. Are you guys still working on that, or what's the status of getting all of that together?
We're presently in for a permit review. I think it's like 99% complete. You're seeing some presentation drawings. You're not seeing the construction documents in your packet.
Okay, well, I'm trying to review it off of the drawings that are in the packet, because that's what I was given. But for, an example would be that you would be expected to replace public sidewalk squares that are damaged or in front of.
We understand that. We understand that. We've been doing work in Evanston for 25, 30 years, and we leave everything nice and tidy when we're all done, I think.
I don't have any complaints against your past history. It's just that these things aren't reflected on the drawing that I was given to review. So
Let me ask Matt. Matt, do we have something on the construction documents?
Hello, nice to see everybody. Yeah, this is more of a presentation site plan, and we've been pretty much consistently submitting these kinds of drawings over the past 20 years. I'm happy to answer any questions and anything that you want to see on the actual site plan that's part of the drawing set. We can certainly add, or I can answer any questions about some information that's not included on the drawing that you have.
okay, so I kind of see from, I really don't want to go through this whole drawing right now. It's like I kind of see from AO2 that your water is coming off of Hartree. And I see that, okay, so now I see that on this one. It just,
So we were waiting. There was a kind of a convoluted process. We needed a topo drawing, obviously, to produce a full civil set. And that work was 4 to 6 weeks out. We do have that work completed. So in the revised set that's going to be coming through, you're going to have full civil drawings with drainage and grading plan. You're going to have a utility plan. You're going to have details of, pavement restoration and that sort of stuff as well. So all of that will be included in these revisions. Based on the instruction of the building department, we were told not to ad hoc submit these revisions, but to do it as one revised set at one time. So we were waiting to get all that civil information so that we could do that, just so you guys weren't getting piecemeal stuff coming through. So after this meeting, we did get the topo drawings this week. I'm transferring that information to the grading plan. So you'll be seeing all that information in the revised set.
Okay. I guess I would defer to my colleagues if they have other questions.
I don't see
Uh,
any. Oh,
Hi,
I would-
Justin.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'll go. I don't see any bike parking on the drawings, and for live workspaces, I think that that could be particularly useful. I know the people who live there, they might choose to bring their bikes inside their units, but having worked with people who work and live in these types of places, they also have employees come and work for them, and so having bike parking would be very helpful on site.
Yeah, if I can answer your question, the bike racks will be on the submittal Matt just mentioned. We started out this project as an office, a 3-unit office building in a C2 zoning, and into the permitting process, we worked with Melissa and Johanna and Katie and a myriad of other people to get live work units added to the permitted use section of almost all of the other zoning designations in the city. And I think in the I districts, they are special uses. So it's that's why we have to resubmit, and all the add-ons will be bubbled on the submitted set.
And so I would just say that the preference is for bike parking to be at the street side, so at Hartree and not in the alley. Bicyclists are not recommended to use the alley to bike on according to city ordinance. And so that is part of the reason why I would recommend it be at the street side, and also for visibility and security of the bikes on the racks.
We can do that.
Great, thank you.
Sure. We wouldn't want
I had a
Edward's bike to get stolen, so we have to put it in a safe spot.
Brian, did you have a comment or question?
Yeah, I did. Can you speak a little bit to what the proposed plan is for the people staying at these places or working in them for trash and recycling services? I didn't see anything dictating space reserved for those things.
Yeah, there's on that site plan that was just shown, there's a location directly off the alley. Part of our revised drawings will include screening around that refuse and recycling area. This area is sort of to the left, right? Those 2 squares. And those are each, I want to say, the container size is roughly 6 feet by 3 feet. And we found that for 3 units, that should suffice. We've had
cool.
some instances where we've had to double our pickups and do a twice weekly pickup, but I don't foresee that happening here at this project.
All right, I appreciate to see that you have recycling included. I know that's important for residents here.
We found that more people have more recycling than they do trash when they're afforded the option of using recycling. We end up almost having that picked up more frequently than the garbage itself.
Hi, Andy. Mike Rivera, City of Evanston Parking. I had a quick question. How many total parking spaces is there with this development?
There are 3 standard and 1 handicap.
Accessible.
And those are going to be at the rear of the facility, or are those in?
You got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. We're big on site parking. we usually have too much as opposed to not enough.
Any other questions? Andy, what is the color of the building? What is is it gonna be metal, brick? What's the treatment here, material wise?
Oops. 1 second. Sorry. Right now, it's sort of in the TBD phase. It's, right now it's 2 different shades of gray. But, that could change.
It's a combination of standing seam aluminum, which you've seen on some of the other projects, and EFIS product. And that EFIS product, like Andy suggested, will have sort of a lighter tone and a darker tone that we can mix and match. Some of that's shown on the actual Dapper presentation drawings, the colored elevations. It won't be in this set that's shown now, but that other set that had the green presentation site plan, you can see the elevations there.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments?
Just have a question on the tree on the property line with the car wash. Is that tree being removed, or have you worked that out with the car wash yet?
It's not our tree. It's the car wash's tree, and we were out there today looking at that, so we would have an answer to the question because we knew it was going to come up. We plan on trimming it on our side. We would be basically getting rid of the overhang and pruning it. We've had good luck doing similar things in the past, with trees that are sort of, we weren't sure if they were going to make it or not, and to date we haven't lost a tree at any of our projects, so we're hoping for the best. But we are conscious of it.
Yeah, there's not one single trunk. It kind of branches at the base, and there's some obvious branches that can be cut without kind of affecting the overall health of the tree. We were really trying to go through it today and pick through what we can keep and what just has to go to make room.
Yeah.
So our intent is to save it.
Okay. Are you going to be doing any root pruning then or anything because of grade changes or digging, or?
Could you repeat that? I have a hard time hearing.
Are you going to be doing any root pruning or anything? Most of the time that's where the damage is the most severe for a tree. That impacts the survivability rate of it is impact to the root zone.
Exactly. And, typically, the roots are as big as the canopy, right? So we just don't know until we get there. Our foundation is such that it's not very deep. We're only 42 inches down. So it's a stem wall as opposed to a true foundation wall. So we're not going extraordinarily deep. In the past, we've been able just to kind of, either the roots are deeper than where our stem wall is. But obviously, until we start digging, we're not going to know exactly. And, that you can see the canopy of that tree is overhanging the site by, 50% of the site. So
yeah,
we will make every effort to maintain that tree. But until we start digging, I can't give you a solid answer.
Okay.
The foundation is, the building is slab on grade. So, there's not much disturbance. So we should hopefully get lucky.
How far away is it from the property line?
5 feet.
5 feet?
The side yard is 5 feet, yes.
All right. Definitely going to be impact on that. You may want to come up with some sort of, I would recommend that you come up with some sort of tree preservation for that, just in case there is an issue that comes up. If you're going to root prune when you're digging, that would probably be the best thing, so that you're not tearing it, but you're actually cutting the roots instead of tearing it with an excavator. That would be preferable.
You got it. I'm on site building it, so I'll make sure it gets done properly.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question, along those lines, is there any landscaping proposed along the front of the building? Since the entrance isn't right along Hartree, you're gonna put in maybe like small shrubs or something like that along the front?
Yeah,
front facade?
so yeah, we're addressing that, and you'll see that again on that revised, all those civil drawings that are coming through. You're gonna see a more detailed landscape plan. In the front, it's east facing, so there'll be some shrubs that get, partial shade in the front. The side to the north part of the property, that's going to be in shade a lot. So the thought is over there that we're going to use some purple winter creeper in those beds. That does really well in the shade and seems pretty durable. And is green year round, which is something we'd like to keep. On the south side of the property, we're between an existing fence, which is owned by the car wash, and our building, so it's going to be in shade quite a bit. We're going to use some river rock over there because the grass won't grow. So we need something that can be maintained. So wherever we can get enough light to grow something, we're going to grow something. But unfortunately on this, we don't have a ton of exposure. So we're going to use, shade tolerant plants and also plants that are, drought resistant as well.
Okay.
If you could, natives would be preferable. If you have something of that other than the winter creeper, that would be preferable.
I'll take a look. In the past,
I understand it's a tough site.
Yeah,
it is. It's difficult. It's just looking for some. I mean, there are shade tolerant items that are native that might work. Native ferns, things like that will tolerate a lot less light.
okay. I'd love to have a conversation with you, maybe outside of this forum, and we could.
That'd be great.
Discuss. Okay.
That'd be fine. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, anything else? If not, would somebody like to make a motion with the conditions?
I'll make a motion to approve for final review with the following conditions. First, we do need to see the detailed civil plans, including more information on the water and the stormwater detention. The water line, I didn't really say this, but I think you know it based on the part I do see on your drawings. The water line needs to come into the building and then promptly have a water meter that's easily accessible. And I'm having a hard time on your drawings locating the mechanical room, so that needs to be clear. Also, we need a submission on the civil plans and site drawings that shows bike parking along Hartree Avenue side of the building. We need a written tree management plan that talks about how you're going to protect the tree during construction, and also a landscaping plan, which preferably will show that the landscaping is all native plants. So these items would need to be approved prior to the issue of any building permits.
Yes.
Is there a second to that?
Go ahead and you can say it.
Second.
All right. Katie, please take the roll.
Excuse me, can I say one more thing, please?
Sure.
So anyhow, when we are permitted, we're being permitted as 3 live work units. So because we're 3 units or less, we don't need to do stormwater retention. So that's part of the change that you'll see on the drawings, and it'll be bubbled. We've been through this and working with Ingrid, as far as the process goes.
So I appreciate that, Mr. Spatz. I guess my concern is that you show that you do have stormwater detention, and whether it's.
Excuse me, that's the set of drawings that we were told to keep in the queue and make all of our changes all at once at the end of the process. So we're just doing what we were instructed to do by staff. So I understand that you're not clairvoyant. And I don't have the power to give you that, but anyhow, well, you'll see that in the submitted drawings. And like I said, we've been working with Ingrid on that.
Okay,
So I think Laura's comments still, the spirit of her comments that we need to see a little bit more before we release the permit.
For sure. No, I'm not going to keep people in the
Yeah.
dark.
So it's been moved and seconded. Katie, you want to call the roll?
okay, before Katie calls the roll, I'll just say that among other things, then I think we would want to see information about your downspouts and where the downspout drainage is going in lieu of stormwater retention. So I mean, I think what we're talking about is really the same thing. We just, whatever is happening to the stormwater, we need to understand that.
We're very conscious of that. It definitely will get managed and not end up in somebody's basement or yard.
Great, thank you.
All right, Katie, let's call that roll.
I confirm the second was Jessica.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Naiden,
Aye.
Jones,
Aye.
Schnur,
Aye.
Kano, or wait, Callahan, sorry.
Aye.
Biggs,
Wait for 'em to-
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Vanetta,
Aye.
Eckersberg,
Aye.
Hank.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Great. All right, there's no other business. Do we have Dapper next week? I don't think we do. Do we? Do we have items?
I don't think so.
No items. All right, then we will probably go ahead and cancel next week's Dapper. So we will see you in November. Thank you, everybody. Oh, motion to adjourn.
Motion, I make a motion.
All those in
Second.
favor, please say aye.
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 Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.